In this video, we are going to demonstrate how you can write a simple algebraic equation given a certain situation. We also are going to determine what the independent and the dependent variables are in the equation, and then solve a couple of problems related to the situation. The problem reads that you are buying an online video streaming membership. The membership costs $12 per month. If D is the total amount of dollars you pay for the membership, and T represents how much time you keep the membership, write an equation that represents how much you will pay for the membership if you keep the membership for T months. So in the problem, it says that the membership costs $12 per month. This is called a unit rate because it gives you an amount as related to 1 unit of something else. So if you kept that membership for 2 months, you would multiply $12 by 2. Or if you kept that membership for 3 months, we would multiply $12 by 3. So we know that we have to multiply $12 by the number of months. And it says in the problem that we have to let the variable t represent the amount of time. So we can multiply $12 by t months. And multiplying $12 by the number of months we keep the membership would give us the total amount. And the problem says that we have to express the total amount using D. So the number of dollars that we are going to pay will be equal to 12 times the number of months that we keep the membership. Now notice that the amount of money that we have to pay for the membership in total is going to depend on how many months you keep the video streaming membership. So we would say that the dependent variable in the equation is the amount of dollars that you would pay, because that is going to depend on the independent variable, which is the amount of time that we keep the membership. Now we have to determine how much we would pay if we keep the membership for 9 months. So we can take our equation and we can substitute the variable t for the number 9. So we can figure out that the number of dollars that we pay will be equal to 12 times 9, which is $108. The next question asks us, how much would you pay over a period of 1 1/2 years? Now we have to understand that our variable t represents time in terms of months. So what we have to do when we plug the amount of time into the equation this time is change 1 1/2 years to months. So we have to multiply 12 by 18. And 12 times 18 is equal to $216. Let's try another example. This problem reads that the basketball team you are on spends X number of minutes on free throws. Because you are not so good at free throws, your coach makes you spend 10 minutes more than the rest of the team after practice. If y equals how much time you spend on free throws, write an equation that shows how many minutes you spend on free throws as compared to the rest of the team. The two variables that we will use to form our equation will be x, which will stand for the number of minutes that the team spends on free throws, and y, which will represent how many minutes that you spend on free throws. And it says in the problem that you spend 10 minutes more than the rest of the team. Well, if the team spends X number of minutes and you spend 10 minutes more, then you would spend X plus 10 more minutes. So the number of minutes that you practice on free throws will be y, which is equal to X plus 10. Now we have to determine which variable is the independent variable and which one is the dependent variable. Well, in this case, the number of minutes that you would spend on free throws would be the dependent variable, because you are going to have to spend 10 minutes more than the rest of the team. So you would already have to know how many minutes that the whole team practice on the free throws before you can add 10 to that amount. So we will say that the y is the dependent variable, which is the amount of time that you spent on free throws, and x is the independent variable. Now what's being asked of us is to create a table showing 5 pairs of x and y values. So let's make an xy table, and let's label this side with an x value and this side with a y value. Because x is the independent variable, we are going to start by plugging some values into the x column. So let's say that the team practices 10 minutes of free throws. If we substitute the variable x in the equation with the number 10, 10 plus 10 would give us a y value of 20. Let's say that the team practices 15 minutes on their free throws. 10 minutes more than that would be 25. And if the team practiced 20 minutes on their free throws, that would mean you practiced 30 minutes. And if the team practiced 25 minutes, that would mean you practiced 35 minutes. And if the team practiced half an hour on free throws or 30 minutes, that would mean that you practice a total of 40 minutes.